Hi everybody, June here from Red Daisy Crafts. I'm a June Leindecker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of San Antonio, Texas. I'm so glad to be here today. I hope we'll have a few people jumping on to join. We are going to be unboxing. We are going to be unboxing Watercolor in Bloom, the December paper pumpkin. This week. Before we get started, I just want to mention that we are in the January subscription period for Paper Pumpkin, and that is special delivery. Hi, Wanda. Thanks for joining. Oh, Merry Christmas week. Yes, we are here. This is special delivery, and this is the January Paper Pumpkin. It is going to be some charming postage stamp details. So I don't know if you can see the little postage stamp type images and things like that. The ink spot for this paper pumpkin is going to be Poppy Parade. And so if you haven't already updated your subscription, please do so. And we also have the new quarterly dies that are going to be, or they're already available in the online store. And they have a really cool postage die cut in here. So, and then there's the word beautiful and some tulips. And I don't know if you can see that, but they're good size. Those tulips and the flowers and the beautiful is, really a good size. As you can see, it fits completely across the palm of my hand. So, it's a really good size word, as well as the postage die cut. It is, let's see, I'm going to measure it here. Wow, this is it's 3 5/8 inches across by 2 3/8, basically. That's a good size, really good size of a die for this. And these dies are now $13 for the set. In this one, you're going to get 5 dies for $13, which I think is a great deal. But you must be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber to get those. All right. The other thing I am doing this month is I'm going to bring in the December product of the month. So I don't know if you've had a chance to see this, but these are the True Blue Florals DSP. And so let's take a look at these. I'm going to show it to you right here. They are beautiful, and I think they will coordinate nicely with this month's kit, the Watercolor in Blooms. And so we're going to be utilizing some of that as well this month. So I am going to put us down to the table, and then we're going to unbox, and then hopefully we'll have time to do one alternate. And I've kind of decided, like, going forward, the first unboxing, what we're going to do for the alternate is I'm going to use the sketches that are in the catalog. And so in the mini catalog that we have right now from January to April, those sketches or templates are on page 17. And I'm just going to use those. We have them in the big catalog as well, but always the first unboxing, I'm going to use one of those templates going forward, just to kind of show you how they will be used. And it'll make it easy to make a quick card and just show you how I go about that. So, because I really love sketches, to use sketches. And then also I grabbed these dots, which are sparkle dots, and they have some coordinating colors in here as well. So those are some of the things that we're going to bring to the table this month. And so let's go ahead and go down to the table. So let's see here. Here we go. All right. So in our kit, we have an ink spot. We have Night of Navy. Those dies are amazing. I agree, Wanda. And here's the stamp set, but we have a better way to show that in a moment. So I'm going to get this out here. The only thing I did was pull out the instructions. I haven't looked at anything else. But you do get full color instructions with the kit, and these cards look amazing this month. You know, so we will make one of each, and then the next weeks ahead, we will make alternates. So continuing with that plan in mind. So let's go ahead and get this kit opened up so we can see what is inside. All right. So I'm just going to try and move all that out. And then here is our stamps. So these are the stamps that you get in the kit this month. I like several of these. The fonts are very nice. Dear friend, thank you. Miss you so much. The little things you do for me mean so much, and you make me feel loved. I think these are awesome sentiments for this time of year. So you might be like me and you need to do a few thank you notes, or you just might need to drop a line and check in on people that you haven't talked to in a while. These are perfect for that, which I love. So I also like these leafy images that we have, which make it kind of fun to create like some little scenery, and you could even do your own background or create your own DSP paper. Now this stamp right here looks very familiar because we have dies currently. If I can get my fingers on them. Where are they? Right here. So the current dies have a image in them like this. Now, if you can see here, well, you can't see that very well. So this is the stamp, and that's 100% the size. It matches perfectly up with the stamp itself, but you can see here that the die cut is much larger, so we can use that. We'll be able to bring that in, and then of course we still have other dies in this set that we could use this month. So we still have the joy and the little flower, and we have the center. We also have a tag die that is not in my set here, and I need to fix that right now before I lose it completely. I'm just going to move some of these around so that I can get them all on here. But I love to just put a little magnet adhesive sheet on the inside of my little thing here, and that's how I keep all my dies nice and handy. Hey Maureen, no worries, we are just getting going and talking about all the things, and I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. But like I said, we have a couple of these that I already had cut, and so let me get this put back together and out of the way. I'm losing a stamp. Oh, what did I do with it? Oh, I think I got it. All right. I thought I dropped a stamp from last month. I don't want to lose that. All right, we're going to put that aside, and now we're going to dig in, see what we got. So like I said, these are the stamps. We have some really cute images to go with it. We have Terran tape. Now, I don't know, are people missing the glue dots? Because we haven't seen glue dots in a while. But I do have my glue dots right here, you know, because I kept forgetting to put them out, but I do have my own. You can get your own glue dots on in the online store. So if you need any help with that, just let me know. But I don't know if they're like not going to do the glue dots anymore. I feel like they're still in other kits, so who knows? We'll have to wait and see what we have going on. We do have dimensionals, the full size dimensionals in the kit, and we have some, I guess, copper. Ooh, losing that. It's very orangey, but it's, I think, intended to be a copper. Let's see here if it tells me. I don't see that, but for some reason I recall in the description previously mentioning copper. So we have those, and those are just little adhesive back sequin. And then we are going to start to dig into our kit. So all the envelopes are the same, but they have a lovely little image at the bottom there. And you get 9 of those. They're just white otherwise. So we have that. We have 3 layering pieces that are available. We have some really beautiful card bases this month. So this one looks like it's Secret Sea with shaded spruce, looks like. Oh, thank you, Maureen. I'm having so much fun with my Color Street nails. I don't know if you have seen me with those, but I've been having a lot of fun with them. So thank you so much. All right, we have some dies as well. That little pieces for sentiment. So we have oval shape. Let me just pop one of these out for each of these. We're going to end up using it, but we have a nice oval shape. We have one that is, I don't know. I don't think it's a square because it looks like it's, I think it's longer on one side, but close to being a square, more of a rectangle. We got another rectangle. So we have 4 of each of these. So we have extra pieces there. Then we have this die cut sheet here, and we have a cute little floral spray. We have 3 of those, and then we have like a little box flower kind of piece here. We have 3 of those. We have 3 of this little spray of flowers, and then we have multiple of different size flowers. So it looks like we have 3 of each size. So we have a large one and a medium one and a small one. So we have those dies. We have these gorgeous watercolor card fronts and or card bases, I should say, which could be easily made into 2 cards, right? So we're gonna get one of those out, and we're gonna grab one of these since I'm kind of taking things apart as we go. Let me just get those back on that dark background so you can see them better. Okay. And then we have that card base. We're only going to need 1 of those. Then we have some vellum. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3 of these. So we have a large rectangle piece of vellum. and a large oval and another rectangle which is smaller. Now you do have a bit of vellum here that, you know, literally you could do some die cutting. Like for example, the dies that we have, I mean, there are one, I mean, I think you could almost get 3 of these out of this one. So don't throw that out if you want to do some die cutting, okay? So just keep that in mind because that will come in handy on some alternates, right? And then we have another card base, which is absolutely gorgeous. Looks like Secret Sea and maybe a little pretty peacock mixed in. Very, very, very pretty. Really, really beautiful colors. All right, and then we have 3 sheets of these die cuts. Okay, we have this really beautiful triangle, a rectangle that has the copper foiling on it. Okay, and then we have 2 others that are really a bit dainty. They have some leafy aspects coming off the sides. So we have that piece right there with the foiling as well. And then we have this oval one as well with that same kind of leafy design going on with it. I don't know. It's hard to see. It's really, really hard to see, but there, now you can see it better. And yeah, there you go. All right, so those are the pieces that we have in the kit. So, you know, I could see using the outline of this to do some brush strokes with the blending brushes to bring on a background. I think that is also possible. So we have like some definite ideas of things that we could do this month with the kit. I'm going to put away some of those things that we popped out and looked at. But let's go ahead and figure out which things go with which card base. So I'm just going to lay out my card bases here and then get all my little pieces in my hand. And we're going to put things out. So on this one, this is the first one. Looks like we have this piece as well as the big rectangle vellum piece and the little box floral piece. And it looks like one of the flowers. Now, it is hard to tell. It looks like this one might be getting the medium flower. I think it's getting the medium flower, but I am dropping things. Sorry about that. I think it's getting the medium one. So we're going to put that with it. Okay. And then card number 2 is this one here. And it is getting this big oval vellum piece and the die with the beautiful leaves around it. It is also going to have this one, and it looks like it's getting the largest flower. Also needing that piece. Oh, I missed this earlier. That goes with that one for stamping the sentiment. I think that is that for that one. And then the third one is going to have that piece and the vellum piece and that rectangle piece plus this rectangle piece. And then we're going to have I'm trying to judge this by what it's showing, and maybe this one is really the small. I think it's going to be the small, and this one's going to be the medium size. Yeah, I think that's the way this is going to go. All right, so let's just move some of these aside for now. And let's go ahead and work on our first card. Now, I do want to grab a bit of scrap paper. I like to use that for trying out the stamps the first time. So we are going to go ahead and figure out which stamps we need. Let me get some blocks out. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. Just get some of my blocks out here. Okay. All right. So we're going to need the, don't want to lose that. I have a tendency to lose those sometimes. So we're going to need the Miss You and the So Much. And then we're going to need 2 of these leafy elements. So that one, and then the one that looks like the die in the quarterly set. And all right, so that's what we need here. Now let's go ahead and see. If I can. So I think I can use that for the leaf. And I think the So Much works on there. And then we'll use one for the leaf. And then the Miss You there. All right. So let's go ahead and test these, but we're going to have to open up our ink spot, right? I'm getting quite a mess out on the table. Can you tell? And I just try to open this up on one side, but man, I am having a hard time here. There we go. Ooh, it's been tough today. Still not all the way open. There we go. I think that did it. Ta-da. All right. So I know we've talked about this before, but I like to share in case, you know, we have a new person watching, but I just like to rub on the back of the stamp where we're going to put the ink. All right. And it just takes off any residue that might be left from the stamps being in the mold of what they were created. So we're just going to put our ink on here and see what we get. Let me grab my foam mat here. And, you know, I put ink on here, but it's been a minute. So now I get to huff. And that just puts some moisture back onto my stamp. Very nice. Look at how bold and beautiful that is. I love that image. Very, very nice. And second generation, there you go. Nice. All right, so that's that one. Now let's do the So Much, and we'll just make sure all of our stamps are working good. You know, you should test your stamps when you get your kit, just because, you know, you only have so much time if there is an issue to contact Stampin' Up with any issue you might have. There's the So Much. That looks great. And then we have the little leaf image here. Let's the one that matches the die. And again, I'm just rubbing on the back of there. Here we go. gorgeous. Very, very nice. Love it. All right, then we have this last one. Nice. Ever since I learned about rubbing these stamps, I feel like I've not had any issues with getting a good image since then, and I just love that. There you go. That's that image. All right, so I'm going to keep our foam mat. Let's set our scrap paper aside. And I'm going to move our little card base out of the way. So we are going to be stamping on here. And it looks like it's this direction and not this way. Yep, it's this way. And so we're going to be towards the lower half, not all the way to the bottom, but towards the lower half. We're going to put miss you so much. So I'm going to do the so much first. So I get that where I want it towards the bottom. And then I'm going to do the miss you. So I'm not wanting this all the way to the bottom, but near the bottom. Okay. So as you can see, there's so much. All right. And then we're going to add the miss you on top of it. And since these are photopolymer stamps and we use the clear blocks, you can see where to go with your sentiment. All right. And so you just want to kind of make sure that you are as straight as you can and just above the so much. And there we have it. Looks perfect. Love it. Okay, so that's the first part. Then on this piece here with the foiling, we are going to do a couple of stamps of the leaves on the leaf. Okay, so this is going to go about right here. Okay, and then we have our little box coming right on it. And so these are going to come out of the sides. So just kind of thinking about placement, looks like we want something to come out in the middle of here, and maybe it's easier to see it, but you want something to poke out here and up here. All right, and that's what we're going to try to align with. And so maybe if I put it right here, I can kind of get an idea for placement. So you kind of are guessing a bit on this one, right? So we're going to put one right here. Okay. And then we're going to ink up our stamp once more. And now we're going to go the other direction. So just trying to get as close as I can to, you know, them being similar, right? So if you can see what we're getting at is how those are kind of poking out the side up there, right? Just like so. And then we're going to have one coming out the top. All right. And so that is this one. And it looks like it's going straight up and down in a sense. So I am just going to go ahead and put that one right here. Okay. And then when we put this on here, that's what that looks like. See? Very nice. Okay. So that's kind of what we have for that. And then I think we can start to put our card together. So I'm going to bring my card base back in and we're going to varnish that. I'm not going to cut this down, but on the rest of them, I will cut it down so that we can get more cards out of our kit and just make this a card front, basically, to another piece of cardstock. Okay, so we have all of our pieces here. So we have these pieces. We also have the little flower here. The first thing that we're going to put down, it seems, is going to be the vellum, but I think we're going to put these together. This seems like a lot of wasted vellum in my mind. And so let's say, for example, you're going to make all these cards. You may want to just trim these down and keep that center part, because you could use that vellum for a lot of different things still. So that's just a thought. But again, we're sticking to the plan here. And so let's go ahead and get our tear and tape. Now, tear and tape works on this because it is being hidden by this sheet. Normally, tear and tape would show through on the vellum. So you want to be a little careful about what you do use as far as adhesive with vellum, because things will show. So you want to kind of be able to hide things. I think it does better that way. So I'm going to flip that over like that. And now we're going to add some tear and tape to the back of this guy that we're going to put on top of that vellum. Okay. And so there we have it. I'm getting my Take Your Pick tool out, which I like to use for this because it makes getting up those tear and tape strips so easy. Like that. Okay. Then this is going to go right on top of here, centered. So I am kind of eyeballing where, how much of it I have on each side. And I'm still not feeling like I have it even. So let's see here. There, I think I got it now. Now, I don't know about you, but my vellum piece is bigger than my, I should say longer than my white piece, because I have it flush at the bottom, but I still have like 1/8 of an inch up here. So I am just going to get some long scissors that I have, and I'm going to trim that right off of there. I mean, you can see that's a pretty good size overhang. And I'm still not perfect on here. There. All right. So now this is going to get added with this tear and tape. Okay. So once again, just putting that down. Use our Take Your Pick tool to get those off of there. And it happens so easy that way. All right. Now, I think this would be even more beautiful if it was being done with dimensionals, if you ask me. But again, we're following the directions. So it is not going to meet. I mean, mine is not going to go end to end. So I am just slightly trying to make sure I have it even on both sides. I think it's intended to go end to end, but as you can see, I have a top and a bottom on mine. So we just improvise, right? We just do our best. But that is that front. This is beautiful, y'all. All right, so the next thing is we are going to have these pieces. And so we're going to have dimensionals on here. And I'm going to just use some dimensionals that I already have started, just because I get so many of these and they're already, I have like 10 open. Just trying to make life easier. Okay, so we're going to put one right here in the center. We're going to put one on the back of our flower. And that now tells me we got the right flower. And we are going to add one to the center of that spray, but it also says to put tear and tape at the bottom. So looks like we are creating a bit of a oh gosh, shade, a little bit of shading by putting this on at this manner. So let's go ahead and add the Miss You So Much piece. Okay, just get rid of your dimensional backs. All right, and that's going to go about right here. It's not all the way, like I said, not all the way to the bottom, but close, right? And then this little guy is going right here next to that one, like right on top of it. But we're going to put this part down to the paper with the tear and tape, and then the dimensional is going to pop up the top part and create that shading, which is actually a very nice effect. Okay, so I'm just lining this up so that it is like right above the sentiment, okay, and even. And then we have that piece there like that. Okay, so I think you can see how that shading does. Isn't that beautiful? I just really love it. And then we're going to add this to the center of our little box of flowers right here, like so. And that is card number 1. Beautiful, isn't it? I love it. I do love them. All right, so we have some sparkle to add. So we are going to grab one of the large sequin and one of the small. Looks like we have large and small this time. So we're going to add one there, and then we're going to add one right over here. All right, so there we have like some sparkle on there with the foiling. Really, really beautiful. Okay, now we could add some leaves on the inside if we wanted, and you know, you could add the sentiment in here. You make me feel so loved. You know, that would be sweet. So you know, you have options. I just think it's fine for now until I know what and who I'm going to send it to. It's fine, but just know you have some ideas. You could even put the dear friend on the inside. I think that would be pretty. So, okay, card number 2. All right. So here we go. We're going to just burnish our card base. And then we are going to work on our stamping. So we have a couple of pieces here that are going to get added. One of these is in the wrong spot. This one goes with the other card. There we go. All right, so we are going to be stamping on the oval, the plain oval. And so I'm going to go ahead and get our foam mat out and our extra piece so that we can get out the additional stamps we need. So here we're going to be using that, the little things you do for me means so much. And then we have thank you as well. And we're using this other little leafy piece. I love it. We're practically going to use all the stamps, which is awesome. Okay, so here's our little leaf piece. Let's go ahead and test that out. How is everybody doing? Are you ready for Christmas? I think I am ready. I hate to say it, but I'm a little surprised. I do have some wrapping to do. But I feel like I'm actually ahead of where I normally am. But you know, there's still time to feel behind. You think you're ready, Maureen? That's awesome. That's awesome. Do y'all travel for Christmas? Do you go to see family? Or are you staying home? We are home in the morning, but then we go to David's brother's house in the afternoon to spend time with all the other families. And I love that. I love that we do that. My family is very far away. They're all pretty much in Wyoming. And so I don't usually see them at the holidays, but I usually get in a little bit of FaceTime, so I get to see them, but the kids are getting older, so I'm guessing things will change a little bit over time. So there's those stamps. Very, very nice. I am loving it. Okay, so for this one, we are doing a little bit of leaf image at the bottom of our oval on the left side. So we're going to have one kind of going right there, and then we're going to have a second little bundle of flowers that are going to go right here like that. Okay. And then we're going to add the words on first. Okay. Let's see here. So that's going to go right above where the flowers stop. And just do my best to get it about as straight as I can. And I just like to hold so the ink can absorb into the paper. And now we have the thank you, and that's going to go right above there. And I don't know about you, but I really like these fonts. Are really beautiful how they are all going together so nicely. You know, having the little bit of different fonts I think are attractive to me. So there's that. Thank you. The little things you do for me mean so much. What a great sentiment. I am loving that. Okay, here we go. Now let's figure out what we're doing with our adhesive. Okay, so we have lots of tear and tape that we're going to use here. And so let's start out here. Put 3 strips onto our big vellum piece, and then we're going to add 3 to the back of this die cut, the one with the foiling and the delicate leaves. Okay, then we're going to add a few to this one as well. All right. And then it looks like they want one on the back of this flower right here, like that. And I must have gotten this off the wrong, somehow I got the flower and that off on the wrong card. All right, this one is going to get some dimensionals on it, which are kind of interestingly placed in my opinion, but they're all on this one side, which I feel like they almost don't fit. So I'm going to move that down. There we go. There we go. I don't think we need to, but that's what it's showing. So And maybe the other dimensionals were a little smaller. Maybe that's what the difference is. All right, so I'm just going to flip that over for now. And we're going to add our foil piece with the delicate leaves. We're going to add that to the front of the vellum. Okay. And again, here, I think, you know, it's a big waste of vellum. So in the future, feel free to change that up. You could probably punch a circle out of the center of here easily and use that for something, right? Right there, 100%. And I would pop this up with dimensionals, but again, that's me. We're following the directions on the first one. I'm just giving you some ideas to play with. Okay. And there we go. All right. So now this is fitting right. It's not going all the way to the foil, but it's close. All right. It's very, very close. So I don't know if you can see that there, but that, I mean, it's right on the foiling. You get to go to your daughter-in-law. That's awesome. For holiday dinner, that sounds very nice. I always love to be with my family, so I love that. All right, so there we have it. All right, so this is going to get added right to the center of here, like so. Okay, like that. Just pressing that down. Okay. Then we are adding our little die cut piece here, right on. Get our little dimensionals off of here. Man, that one doesn't want to come off. And this little guy is going right down here where we put those stamps, just like the other one. They're kind of poking out from behind there. Okay. And then we're going to add a few of these sequin. Okay, so we're going to have one out here, and we're going to have a little small one kind of tucked right in here, like so. Huh. Oh, I have this on the wrong way. I wonder if I can, oh, we may not be able to do anything about that. Supposed to be turned around the other way. I did not catch that. Okay. My bad. My bad. All right. So this one I'm going to tuck in. We're going to get it in right there. All right. And then we have our little flower that's going to go on, and it's going to go right here. So just if you could imagine that turned around, I didn't even notice it because it fit so well between these, but it really goes the other way. Okay, but it's fine. Nobody will know the difference, only us. Okay, but just so you can see that this is really beautiful, you know, really is beautiful. Okay, so these are a little longer than I planned, so we may not get to an alternate because we are getting close to our hour, and I don't want to take up tons of time. So what I might do is do one and post it in the group. Maybe do a little video and post that in the group. Okay. All right, so let's get our stamps that we need. We need the Dear Friend. Looks like we're going to use all the stamps, which I love that we are using all the stamps on this. We don't always have things where we use all the stamps. And I'm getting one, grabbing a couple more blocks here. All right, so Dear Friend, right there. And I think this one's going to fit on here perfectly. Yes. But I have this little guy right here. So I'm going to actually just going to use the back of this one because I don't want to have it. Oh my gosh, we already have lots of blocks out. You know how it is when you get all the stamps out. You end up with no space because you've got them all over the place. All right, so I'm just rubbing these off and getting all that stuff off of the stamp. Okay. And then this one too. All right. Now let's check them out before we go to stamping. Let's see here. That little sprig is so cute. Little tiny sprig. I just think this dear friend lettering is beautiful. And then we have the last one. You make me feel loved, which I love it. So there are those last images. That's right. Who will know but us? That's right. Okay. So we have this piece here and we have this piece, but we are stamping on this one that's going to go right on top of there. Which I'm not sure why they did that because we're not putting it on dimensionals. So it's just adding another layer to the card, but it's not a huge amount of weight or anything like that. So let's go ahead and do our dear friend on here. So I am going to add the words at the bottom first. Okay. And I'm just getting that pretty close to the bottom. All right. Like so. You can see there. Okay. Now we're going to add the dear friend on top of that. Like here. Nice. That looks so nice. I love it. All right, then we are going to be stamping some of those little tiny sprigs on to this piece. So I'm going to see if I can get my little ink spot here to behave. So we are going to add, oh, I think we're adding a few. Oh no, we're just adding these. Okay, we're just doing 2 of these, okay? And they're going here is where one is going to go. I'm just trying to see around what I got going on the top of my stamp. And then we're going to add this one in here like that. So you can see we just added that one right there and this one over here. Okay. One of your kids shipped, but it hasn't arrived yet. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope it comes before Christmas too. That's no fun. You're gonna love these though. They are beautiful. You could make all of them just the way they came and you'd be in a good way. That's for sure. Okay, so here we go. We got, oh, we are putting dimensionals on here. It's about time, in my opinion. But we are going to be putting some tear and tape on these 2. Dimensionals on those 2. Tear and tape on this one. We are going to add tear and tape on there and a little tear and tape on here. It's weird how they did it on there. But to be honest, I'm going to use glue dots because I have them right here, and I think it's so much easier for this size. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a couple glue dots here for these two. And then we'll be good to go on that. But I will put the tear-in tape on these fellas like that and like that. Then we are putting dimensionals on here. So we got 3 dimensionals going on here, like that. And then this this is ridiculous, but we're following the guide. All right, but it has like 9 dimensionals on here. That's just not how I normally do things, but oh well. Now I want to move these up because I want my dimensionals to not create extra postage for me. And this is going to go right on top of that area, it looks like, on here. So I think we start with this one. Oh goodness, these little guys. Did not want to come off. All right, so this is going to go right here in the center. Okay. Then we're gonna build this up, I think, first. So let me just do this part. So this is going across here. And again, you could trim this off and only use the part that you need. On this one, though, I don't know that it would matter. Again, this is a little longer than what I need, so I'm going to trim this off. Because that would bother me. So this is going right on there like that. Okay. And it's not going to interfere because I have dimensionals here and I have dimensionals down here and up here. So that won't be a problem. We're going to add it. Right. It looks like it's going to go about right there. Okay. But before we do, we're going to put this piece on. Our sentiment. Okay. And that is just going to go right in the middle of this. And like that. And it's a little long. So I am once again going to just trim this. So it's going to go like that. Just like that. All right. So let's go ahead and take these off. And so I can see the line here through that vellum. Okay. And I'm just making sure that I get the bottom just above that line. And that should be, yeah, it's lining up with the top there. So that's how that looks. Okay. Then we have our 2 pieces here that we are adding. Okay. And I'm going to make sure I pay attention to that here. So I guess I'm just kind of tucking him under here. I wonder if the plan was, it does look like he's going underneath the vellum, but I think I would rather he go above the vellum. I definitely think I want the flower above the vellum. So I'm just moving the glue dot a little bit down so that it doesn't hang off and become like a sticky mess on the card. Okay, so I'm just moving it down there like that. And oh, it's still a little bit off. I think I got it off now. I'm going to put a whole new one on. There we go. I'm going to put a whole new one on down at the very bottom. There we go. So I am just tucking that in right there. I feel like a little bit of a glue dot on there. So funny. All right, then this little flower is just going right on top of there like that. Okay, but now that's attached and you can see the dimension there. So cute. All right, then we just have a couple of sequin here, and we are going to have that coming right here, and then a small one right over here, and another small one right up here. And those are our 3 cards today. They're beautiful. All right, I'm going to do the sketch like I mentioned, and I will put it in the group. Maybe I'll do a little video or just do it and post a photo, but we're going to have one more today, later today. Probably won't post it till tomorrow, just being honest. But we'll have a little bit of an alternate one for you as well. And these are beautiful, y'all. I hope you enjoy this kit. I hope you decided to get it. If you didn't get it, I do have 2 available for sale. So you can reach out to me and ask me for that. So thank you for joining me. And because we are the week of Christmas, and I really do want to just say how much I appreciate everybody that joins me on the lives and watches in a replay. And I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas with you and your family. And I hope that you have a wonderful holiday. And I look forward to seeing you after Christmas next Sunday with alternates with the Watercolor and Blooms. Bye, everybody.